Mike Robertson again, the creator of Storytime Salsa. On my website, we have a About Me page that gives you a little history of my career, but it doesn't really go in depth. And I'd like to expound on that a little bit. I started out flying for a Department of Defense company in Northwest Georgia, and that ended up allowing me to see the world. I ended up flying in every ocean. I flew on every continent except for Antarctica, and I got to see places inside of countries that you would never ever see. So my inspiration for this salsa is probably due to my aficionation. It's probably due to my affinity for the San Marzano tomato. These come from a region of Italy south of Rome, north of Salerno, and they grow abundantly. Now, the Amalfi Coast of Italy is where this happens. That is a little stretch between Sorrento and Salerno on the western coast of southern Italy. It's really tall mountains that reach from 5,000 feet down to the sea. All the little villages are maybe a mile wide at most, and they run vertically. There's one little highway right in the middle of the mountain range that goes all the way to Salerno in the south. And then the villages are built in tiers down to the water. These tomatoes grow crazy there. And one of the big things that drew my attention to them was I would see these nets under the eaves of all the houses. And this was in the middle of the summer, their harvest time. And I noticed they were full of tomatoes. So I started asking questions. And what I found out was the locals pick these tomatoes, they throw them up in those nettings, and they let them sit there till a day or two before they would go rotten. And that's when they are at their peak. And then all of the folks there use them for anything that they can make with tomato sauce. So they make their own sauces. They make a different form of salsa than what we have here. It's more of a tomato sauce used in vegetable dishes and things like that. And then they also turn it into the tomato sauce for their pasta. So one of the big things for me was to ride up and down the main highway, and I noticed there were little restaurants every mile or so, and we stopped in every one of them and tested their pasta and their tomato sauce. Absolutely fantastic. Hardest thing for me was I didn't want to eat a lot because I wanted to go stop at the next place down the road, and you almost offend the cook, the grandmother, the nonna, who's standing back there watching you eat when you say, "Thank you, it was wonderful," and you want to move on. She wants you to have another plate. But this is an amazing part of the country. The San Marzano tomato touched my eye, touched my heart, and that's why we're making this salsa today using the San Marzano tomatoes.